Hey guys, thanks for thinking about me when you think about selling your house. I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the numbers here, and let's set up a time to look at your house. I could possibly do Saturday, maybe Sunday. So let's talk about that. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, this is our subject property here, your place. You can see the tax record actually recorded the square footage is 1464. As you mentioned on the phone yesterday, Chad, we're actually hoping that it's a little bit larger at 1483. It's only 20 square feet, but that is our multiplier. That's where we determine, as we're multiplying per square foot, that helps us go up in price. Now we're just going to reference a past listing for our square footage. We're not actually going to measure. If it's on the buyer to measure if they want to do that. So we're going to take the higher number there. Going into the thing, what we're going to do first is we're going to go through reality, and then what I call fantasy land. That's where we go for what the active comparables are. And so we're going to take a quick look at it. First this is our reality. This is what we know has sold in the past 6 months. Under 1,500 square feet. You see one of them doesn't have the half bath, but it doesn't really change the actual sale numbers. So if we do a quick market report on this, what you'll see is that we have them selling for 101 a square foot, 111 a square foot, 115, and 116. The 101 a square foot is the outlier. We're going to ignore that one. We don't need it for a comparable. We only need 3 good comparables. So we're going to take these top 3, and in reality I've got some more coming out. I have one that's about to drop at like 119. So we're going to just assume that 111 is going to drop off. We don't worry about averages, we're looking for comparables. So this one, if it's not comparable, in which case it was, and it was kind of subpar condition, then we don't worry about it. So in reality, I'm pretty bullish on the market too, or I would listen to this a little bit more, but right now strong reason to believe about 117 is our current market data that says that's what we'll probably sell for. Okay, so going to the next one, this is our fantasy land. These are our active comparables. As you can see, this gold means that they're actually all under contract right now, so that's a really good thing. We're going to do a quick market report on this real quick, and what this will show us is the price per square foot. They were wanting 117 a square foot. They stayed on the market forever. That house had a tiny backyard. They held out for it and they got something close, but I had a client on it and I wouldn't let them pay 117 a square foot for that. It was just not the quality it needed to be. So 117 a square foot and 121 a square foot. Now I know this one's going to land at like 119 a square foot because I'm the one with the contract on it. So unless we just have some major negotiations in the inspection period, that means that is the number that I group back in with the reality there. So it's almost the exact same data that we're getting, except to say that we could always stretch it just a little bit. But in reality and fantasy land are really close on this point. Usually I want my clients to land between those 2 numbers. In this case, those 2 numbers are just a tad bit apart. So. And then finally, here's our market analysis. In reality, the probable sales price. Now I went all the way down to the 110 a square foot, and normally I would just give this as one single number. The reason I've actually given you a range here is because I haven't seen your house yet, and I don't know, you could have carpet all downstairs that needs to be replaced, that smells like a dog, you know, I don't know. So I'm just trying to leave myself a little wiggle room. Once I see your house, I'll land it right between this 164 and 173 a square foot. Now I'll put that as your probable sales price, but in reality, just with the marketing that we bring, everything we're selling is going above our comps. But I need to prepare you that this is reality. I mean, if it came in, if we got an offer in at 173 or we got an offer in at 164, we would know exactly the numbers that they are looking at, and we would have to know that they're not completely unreasonable, that you know, they're basing this offer on reality. So then we got down here, ignore this number, that's left over from something else. But basically active homes that are currently listed, and they are selling, so I'll take that out. Sorry, that was left over from something else I was doing. So active homes that are currently listed, if we took the highest of those numbers, that 121 number, which I know didn't close right in there, would be 179. And then I have something that just for fun I call Rainbow Fantasy Land. And that is assuming that if there is market appreciation, that we could actually push the market up. And this actually goes into, if you've got time and you want some headache to try to get the most, we'll start at 185. Now, the only problem with 185 and me taking a 185 listing is that sometimes when, I mean, in Rainbow Fantasy Land, sometimes people start going, well, you said we could sell for 185. Well, that's not really what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this is going to be the majority of the headache, and most likely we're still going to land somewhere between here and here. But if you want to try to go for it, you're going to have to do every single change and that we go over when we go through our walkthrough and take a look at your place. And what we're going to have to do is negotiate early on. So if the offer comes in at 173, you're already into Fantasyland. You mean you're the beginning of Fantasyland. If it comes in at 179, you're already starting here. So you're going to start negotiating that offer. You're not going to say, well, no, I want 184.9, you know. So that is like the top of, like, I'd be crazy to list above that price. But I just want to always throw that out there, because my point is to make my clients the most money, and that's it. So I don't want to take that off the table. Hope that helps you guys out. And basically, we still need to set up a time to walk through your property. But what I'd like to see us do is, you got the 173 as our high, 179 is our super high. I'd love to see us be ready to list somewhere between here. And if you want to go for it, we could go to here. But you know, the headaches increase, but you know, we can do it. So stay in touch with me. Let me know when would be a good time to do a walkthrough. Thanks, guys.